going guys? It is Sparkzy, and this is my first video being a Sparkzy for the very first time properly on my channel, because I fancied being on fursuits for my vlogs. I decided to do vlogging. I hope you enjoy that I can do vlogging, because you're gonna get it, because I don't care what you think, so I wouldn't do it, so you're gonna watch. And you're going to enjoy it. So the first video I'm going to be doing today is the story of, I guess, how I became a furry. And how I became Sparkzy, and how do I fall flat on my face and just squish my phone in a dance. The loud bang was concerning, as someone would say. So I'm going to go way back about 7 years ago as to how I found the furry fandom and how all this, how I became so corrupt. And a lot of you are thinking, this boy was so innocent, he had everything in his grasp, and he became a furry. Why? Why did he do such sin? I'm gay as hell, so shut the fuck up. So, the first thing that I started, I was about 13 years old, maybe 14, I can't remember the exact date. So it all started because I used to like doing roleplay. I started role-playing in World of Warcraft, as most people do when it comes to fantasy, because that's the only thing that was out at the time. And I was always liking the Worgen that was in it. It was a furry, an animalistic character. Not the Taurens though. I wasn't that much in Taurens. I don't know why. I didn't like to go moo. I like to go woof. Yes. Woof. Now, for the first things I started doing was obviously the role-playing World of Warcraft. I liked doing fantasy and adventure and all that stuff. Not ERP. I was a good boy. I was a very, very good boy at the time. Then, my friend introduced me to, I can't remember what the forum was called, but it was a forum for a fantasy-based desert island sort of roleplay where we all become these creatures. We all were humans, and then we all became anthropomorphic characters, so in other words furries. We all became furries by this curse, and then we were stuck like that for the rest of our lives. And I can't remember what my character was, but it was, I think it was a wolf. Yes, I think it was a wolf. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty certain it was a wolf. So I then started getting into that, and then role-playing as a furry, or as an anthropomorphic, I didn't know what the actual word meant. I didn't know what the word was at the time. So when that happened, I then started to diverse into a little bit more, seeing what the term meant as anthro. And then through that time, I discovered furry. Yes, I discovered furry. My life was never the same. Never. So then I found furries, and I want to delve into it a little bit more. Then I was introduced to a website at the age of 14 or 15. I discovered for the first time F-list. Yes. F-list. Then my childhood was gone. And I never was the same ever again. Ever again. So basically, I didn't know what was actually going on about that, but I had to find my pictures and I create this character on F-list, and I called it my original fur name, which was Alistray, or Aloe for sure. And then I was like going through all these favorites and like my settings and all that, and then I found all of these words that were very sexual, and I didn't know how to think about it. Thankfully I was smart. Thankfully, I knew what was going on, because thankfully I learned a lot about sex ed when I was very young. And you know those times when like all the kids are always watching it and they're always giggling and all that bloody bollocks because they're so immature. I actually just watched and I was like, okay, that's a penis, that's a vagina, that's a butthole. So I went through that, which was fun. Actually, no, it wasn't really. No. But honestly, through the efforts I then started to go into the actual fairy fandom a little bit more. Then came in my life, Second Life. Now, originally I didn't go into Second Life to be a furry. No, I originally came in as a normal human character because I was in a lot of wrestling, and my father was a wrestler in that game, and then I decided to be in that. And then over the course of time, when I was playing on Second Life on my avatar, on this wrestler of mine, I met so many people in the furry characters, and I was like, you can be a furry on this game! I want to do this! I want to be corrupt! So, I had a friend that I met called Avexi, who I have a very close... Ooh, I just broke my... I just broke my jaw. So, through the course of time, I met my friend Avexi, who is a very close friend of mine. Very close. Still close, even to this day. He introduced me into being a furry, and I wanted to become a furry character. So, if I recall, my very, very, very first character of furries, my very own, was actually a rainbow leopard. So, I haven't really changed much. I'm still leopard, just not rainbow. Or in other words, yay! Through the time, I got into the furry stuff a lot more easily that way. I was quite a shy and coy sort of furry. I wasn't really that sure on what I was doing. I was quite self-conscious about some stuff. But then I realised when it came to furries with their lewd and all that, in case you didn't know, lewd is naughty for you humans. Yes, you humans. So then I started doing, the usual, I tried to do the usual furry things most furries tend to do, is they like to be very nude, very rude and naughty. Naughty. Very naughty. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Because we're very naughty. And we're like cats in heat, and dogs in heat, and dragons in heat. And I don't know what the term is for dragons. I don't know. So, through the time, I became very unsure with myself about the furry fandom. But then, over time, I just grew attached to it, and the more I met the community through Second Life, I felt myself in a way. I felt like being part of the furry fandom was actually my calling, and it actually helped me find myself because I was quite a shy. Well, I felt misplaced when I was young, when I wasn't a furry, when I didn't hear about it. So the furry fandom actually helped me to be who I am, and it actually helped me to realise myself and actually let myself be who I want to be. So I stuck to being part of the furry fandom, and I haven't looked back ever since. And Second Life was actually the starting point of that. That's just the tip of the iceberg, darling. Just the tip. Just the tip. So, I never really met anyone in real life with the furry fandom. So, I was all on the computer with Second Life. And Second Life actually was where Sparkzy was created. I created Sparkzy through that with so many modifications and just creating the character I wanted. I like green. Well, to be precise, mint green. I love mint green. That's a very nice colour. Mint. Mint. Mint! When I became, nearly 17, I actually was searching about furries around my area, which is Bristol. And then I found out that the Bristol fur meets were actually a thing. And I actually found Bristol Fur Meets, which was every first Saturday of the month. So, yeah, every first Saturday. So it was the 2nd of September last year? No, 2 years ago, my bad. 2 years ago, I found the furry fandom, and I wanted to become prepared. I didn't want to look like, I didn't really know what to expect. I thought everyone was going to be all in their fursuits and all that, and I was going to be the only one there without any furry artifacts or any furry accessories whatsoever. So through my fashion course, because I did fashion for 2 years, I was like, okay, I'm not going to look out of place. I'm going to make a tail. I will make a tail, I will make paws, and I will make ears. So then I became a neko. So through that, I actually made the tail. I actually still wear it now. It's the tail I've always been using ever since. And I made some paws, and I also made my ears. However, the paws were the wrong colour, but that's, I don't mind about that. I don't really mind about the colour. But I will say I was quite the neko, and I was quite the chubby one, so don't judge me from my photo! Do not judge me from my photo! Do you understand me? So, through the furry fandom, which went back 2 years ago, I was becoming more and more frequent and more familiar with everyone about the furry fandom. And then I met so many friendly people that I felt so out of place. I felt like no one was going to like me, and everyone actually really liked me. Apparently, I had this really cute, bubbly personality, and I was like, where have you been all my life? Because back in the day, like in my furry, when I was not a furry, I didn't really have that sort of like connection with anyone, and no one really liked me, and they thought I was annoying, and they were always judging me for being so bubbly and out there and so extra. But then, through the course of time, I then decided to be part of a convention, which was just for the weekend, or in short, JFTW, JFTW, which was back last year, 2017, in April, where I've met so many people that actually liked Sparkzy and actually thought I was amazing. And this was only because I fell flat on my face in a dance, because I competed in just for the weekend's dance competition, and I came so close to winning, and I got high praises from the actual guest of honor, who was actually a professional dancer called Blue the Dragon, who's an Australian furry, and he's quite popular on YouTube. So I'll put a link in the description so you can see who I'm talking about. But yes, in that convention I became one of the dancers, and I competed. I originally was going to do a lip sync competition, but unfortunately that got cancelled. So the host that was going to do that competition put me in the dance competition. Bear in mind, that was the very first time I actually danced and performed in front of so many people. I've never competed, never danced, never performed in my life in dance to anyone. And also, spoiler alert, this might be a bit of a shock. The whole dance I actually did in that dance competition was all improvised. I just thought on the top of my head. There are two things that I did plan, which was a drop on the floor, and then the death drop. And that I will say that did concern quite a few people. A lot of people. For many ways.
The loud bang was concerning.
A woo? So then, through the course of time, since JFT's happened, which was very recently actually, I then became one thing that people dislike, because they think when people call them that, they're not so special and they actually don't have a reason. But people think of me as a poppy fur in the United Kingdom, which is actually kind of interesting. Because because I'm known for my dancing. So apparently there's not really many furries that are known for dancing, and I am, because I do quite a few technical things that most furries don't really do in the UK, I guess. I'm not sure. But ever since JFTW, I've had such a big fan base through Telegram, through my Twitter, through Facebook, and on my live streams. And every time I join in Telegram groups, people automatically know me. And it's just kind of weird. Like, I did not expect to have so much there's so much attention in my life. Honestly, in person. On a computer, maybe, but in real life? Really? No. So yeah, ever since JFTW, I've been invited for this year's JFTW again, and not to mention that I am going to be hosting this year at JFTW, because people actually will remembered me, and they will never forget me, because I fell flat on my ass and gave everyone a heart attack. So that's the whole entire plot of why I became a furry, guys, and my story on being a furry, and it's still gonna go. It's still gonna continue. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and if you want more, I'm gonna do more. And I'm also thinking about setting a Patreon, but I haven't quite decided on the actual rewards yet, so I'm sure people will give me some ideas, I'm sure. But until then, guys, I'm going to snap chop out of here, and I'm gonna go sleep. So until then,